Hello guys, good morning. This is Dikshit Vora, and welcome to my channel Dax Code, where we would be solving right now we are solving like multiple data structure algorithm problems. It's a series of data structure algorithms. We are taking the problems from LeetCode. I'm starting my journey from say easier to moving ahead to the harder portion. I'm For my background, like I'm a Merstech developer. I'm working with software industry for like 6 years now. And coming back to our agenda of the day, so our agenda is like pretty much simple. Like we would be solving a problem from LeetCode, and the problem for today is Pascal triangle. So we have to create the function is being given where that function we would be providing a number, and that number would be say giving us the complete triangle dimension. Like we have to create the dimension of the triangle. So let me share my screen and I can give you an example explanation of the triangle, and you would be able to see the screen by now. And yeah, that's it. So the triangle is like pretty much simple. Like it is having like 1 and 1. So we would be getting an output which would be into a form of an array, and we are having like a number of rows like which is 5. So for 5 rows, like 1 2 3 4 and 5. So we are having like the first step, second step, and the third step. So in the initial point, like we are having the first one, and then we have like 1 1, so which is the first row, which is the second row. Then we have the third row where it is 1 2 and 1. So here we would be like having the addition of this both, and it would be over here. Coming to this point, like we are having 1, then 1 and 2 3, and 2 and 3, 2 and 1 3. So it's like 1 3 3 2, and then once again the same scenario goes on. So that is the simple Pascal triangle, and that we would be solving. I already written the test cases, and I already solved the problem by using LeetCode. And yeah, let's start with the problem. Like let's solve the problem. So we need to return an array. So let us define an array. So let us define like const triangle is say an array, and we would be return triangle. So that's it. So this is the main thing, that what we want to get and what is the condition. Now coming to the first point, we would be having a for loop, because it would be taking like the first for loop which would be going from the top to bottom, and then second one which would be going from left to right, and we would be getting like all of the things. So here like I would be defining like I as an index, and the second value would be our say row number. So number of row, and we would be going for an incremental value. So when we start from 0, we would be going from 0 1 2 3 4 5. So that is how we would go. Now say const row is equal to say new array. It's like the addition, like we would be adding we would be giving the number. So we would be adding like I plus 1. So it would be giving like the value, and we would be filling it with something. So the fill would be the number 1, because we would be going with 1. So that would be our row, and we would be having another row with another for loop which would be going inside that, which would be going from left to right. So there is another for loop which is of j, and which is like say which would be starting with 1. Like I'm sure with that, because it won't be starting with 0, it would be starting with the first, and here it would be less than I. For each and every iteration it would be less than I, and it would be an incremental. Now coming to this point, say we already defined row, and row is supposed to be an array, so we can do a modification onto the array. So here we would be saying row of j. So if we are having like that value, then we would be going like triangle. So say triangle of I plus 1, sorry, not plus, we can go for -1, and the second would be say j -1. So we would be having like both of them, and then we would be having like triangle, and which is the same thing like I -1, and say this third one value j. So this is how like our process would be moving, and yeah, that's it guys. And yeah, so after this point, like when this second round goes on, it completes, it would be going like triangle dot push and row. Yeah, so in the future video, like I'm having a small idea like how to reduce this push. Instead of push method, we can do like something map, so which is like at the load testing point, it is like much more simpler and much more easier. So we would be using that thing in future, and I'd be giving there would be a video where I would be explaining like instead of using push, we would be using the map method. And let us solve this now, test this application. So when I go for the test with the folder, we would be able to see like all of the test cases gets passed. And let us try to change the value. So here we are having into the test cases, like I'm changing the value from 5 to 6. So already I've given like for the 5, I'm changing the value to 6. So are we going on a correct track? We would be able to see it told no, because like say you would be able to get like lots of value. Okay, so that is the difference, like how we did the changes, and it would be fixing up. Say this is our value, this is getting wrong, say, and the output is getting different. So that is it guys, like for today's problem solving. And I'm stopping my screen. I would be waiting for you guys to give me a comment or a thumbs up, so that it would be a pleasure for me to have a conversation with you guys, and I would be upgrading myself, and I would be expecting like a communication with you. So that is it guys. Thank you. Goodbye. Sayonara.